want to know something about our work in the U.S.?
Yeah. CODEPINK.
So CODEPINK started after the 9/11 attacks at the U.S., the World Trade Towers, and a group of women coming together for a meeting around environmental issues. There were about 40 of us, and we were, during the lunch break, talking about how the attacks we knew were going to lead to war, and that the U.S. was going to use this as an excuse to attack countries, even Iraq, that had nothing to do with 9/11. And so we were laughing about the color-coded alert that George Bush had set up, because it was code yellow, today's a mellow day, there probably won't be a terrorist attack. Code orange, you know, a little, be on the lookout. Code red, be really scared. And what did they say when it was code red? What were you supposed to do?
I have no idea.
Nobody had any idea. They didn't have any idea. We said, what do we do on a code red day?
Hide under the type.
Yeah. So we were laughing about that and saying we need another code-colored alert system. And somebody came up with the idea of code hot pink, which we thought was a great idea until we tried to buy the URL and it was a porn site, so we couldn't. So we had to be just plain code pink, which was a big problem for a lot of women because they weren't like, you know, girlish, pinky. And some people dropped out and said, no, code pink, I don't want to do that. But it turned out that using the pink was really a very good form of branding. You know, you could be a small group, but if you were in pink, and we used the pink for all kinds of things, and it became very symbolic.
Pink slip?
Pink slip. We would wear these pink lingeries with things written on them.
Do you know what pink slip means?
Yeah.
It means
What?
fired from your job?
Oh no.
Oh, in the United States, if you get a pink slip, it means you're fired.
Okay.
And so we would pink slip our senators and our Congress people.
So we'd go around handing them pink slips, or we would wear pink slips and take them off and throw them at them. Or we would have huge pink slips. Tighe helped us made huge, like the size of that whole building. We would drop from the top, and it would come down a beautiful slip, you know, in the shape with like frills
With
on the
lace on the
bottom and stuff.
Tell them about in front of the White House.
Oh, we did a 4-month vigil in front of the White House.
In the freezing cold.
Freezing cold. And you know, we're cold now. This is cold for us. So in the middle of winter in the snow, it was one of the coldest winters in decades. Yeah. And we weren't allowed to set up any tents or even a tarp over our heads. So instead of 24 hours a day, we did it sunrise to sunset. But we did it every day for 4 months. And as part of that...
The unique thing about that is you could actually go to the White House. Whereas today, you can't go there anywhere near.
Fences up and everything.
Not even for a hole.
And then we did a fast. We learned a big lesson. Don't do an open-ended fast, but of course the Irish, we know about fasts, and we did one for 30 days, and it was very difficult for many of us. And at the end of the fast, we were invited to Iraq to meet with people there about their efforts to get the U.S. troops out. And so just as we're here trying to, you know, get U.S. planes out, of course the Iraqis for years and years and years fought to get the U.S. out. And CODEPINK has been involved in trying to stop U.S. interventions all over the place. In Yemen, we went to Yemen, we met with the victims of U.S. drone warfare.
CODEPINK went to Waziristan. With
that's
Imran
right.
Khan,
Yeah, tell them about that.
the now jailed prime minister from Pakistan. He invited us to go to Waziristan in a huge, when they were starting their new party called PTI, which is could have brought democracy to Pakistan. Now he's in jail, but we went up where they were telling us the most dangerous people in the world were, and it was mostly women.
Well, they are the most dangerous.
Oh yeah, their women weren't dangerous. No. Neither were the guys.
Yeah, that was quite an experience, just as Yemen. I mean, we always are trying to meet with the people who are supposed to be our enemies and bring back the stories and tell people about them. And we just, as you well know, met people who were victims of U.S. policy. And one experience that really stayed with me a lot was a family that we met in Yemen, because whether it was in Pakistan or Yemen, where the U.S. was using drone warfare in the beginning days when drones were something unknown, we met with a family in Yemen, and they brought us into their house, and they said, we have no problems with the American people, and we have problems with they had problems with their own government, and their teenage sons who wanted to fight against their own government found the only group that was fighting their government, and it was called Al-Qaeda. So they joined Al-Qaeda, not to fight the U.S., but to fight their own repressive government. And the U.S. came in with drones and murdered their 2 young sons. And the woman said to me something that I wouldn't forget, which is, she said, "Don't you have gangs in the United States?" You know what gangs are?
Yeah.
So if your teenage son joined a gang, a group of people who were a bad influence on them, would you think another country had the right to come in and kill them? Wouldn't you think maybe they could be arrested and re-educated? And instead, the U.S., a foreign country, came in and murdered our sons. And they said, tell people in the United States that it's none of their business what's going on here. And that what they're doing here is making the U.S. hate it. And we've seen that over and over again.